These 15 open world games are jaw-droppingly good, and it's crazy no one's talking about them. Coming in at number 15, it's Mad Max. Now, this game might not have set the world on fire when it came out, but for open world enthusiasts, it's an absolute masterpiece. You've got this vast, desolate wasteland that feels eerily alive, even in its desolation. The weather effects, the sandstorms, the way the environment just feels hostile, everything about it screams immersion. And the car combat, it's not just an afterthought, it's one of the best parts of the game, keeping you on your toes as you navigate this post-apocalyptic world. As you drive through the wasteland, you'll notice how the detail shines in everything from the rusted cars to the sprawling hostile camps. The way the game presents its story, it's more about survival than saving the world, and that makes everything feel more grounded. It doesn't have the same glitz and glamour as other big-budget open-world games, but the sheer realism in the environment and mechanics gives it an edge that few other titles match. Of course, it's got its flaws, some repetitive missions here and there, but it's one of those titles that deserves a second look. When you're in the thick of it, Mad Max does a great job of sucking you into its bleak yet beautiful world. The open world aspect, combined with a strong narrative and tight mechanics, makes this a game that will stick with you long after you have finished it.
Acrobatics will only postpone the
Next up at number 14 is Hogwarts Legacy. Now I know what you're thinking. Harry Potter isn't exactly the first place you'd expect to find hyper-realistic open-world exploration, but hear me out. The attention to detail in this game is mind-blowing. From the grand halls of Hogwarts to the Forbidden Forest, every corner of this magical world feels meticulously crafted, as though it's been lifted directly from the books and films. What really stands out here is how the game brings the wizarding world to life, blending the familiar with a new, exciting narrative. The open world design is truly something to behold. Hogwarts is huge, and every area feels nothing short of impressive. You can spend hours exploring, discovering hidden passages, and engaging with characters who each have their own stories to tell. It's not just a magical fantasy. The world feels lived in and realistic, as though it's been around for centuries. The weather changes dynamically, and even the creatures you encounter are brought to life in ways that make them feel like they belong in the world. But it's not just about running around casting spells. There's a deep, rich narrative that ties everything together, and it really helps you get immersed in the world. Hogwarts Legacy offers a magical experience that many RPGs fail to deliver, all while staying true to the lore of the Harry Potter universe. It's a must-play if you're a fan of open-world games with a touch of magic.
Winged it!
At number 13, Mafia 3 makes its mark with a raw and unflinching approach to open-world gameplay. Set in the late 60s, it brings a unique atmosphere to the table, focusing not just on action but also on the cultural backdrop of the time. You step into the shoes of Lincoln Clay, a Vietnam vet seeking revenge in the corrupt city of New Bordeaux. The open world here feels alive with its late 60s vibe, from the music to the architecture, and it does a great job of transporting you to that time and place. While the story is strong, it's the realism of the setting that really stands out. The bustling city streets, the authentic cars, the neon lights, it's like taking a trip back in time. The game's focus on racial tension and social unrest gives it a depth that's rare in open-world games. As you fight your way through the criminal underworld, you'll also see how the world reacts to your actions, whether it's through the interactions with NPCs or the shifting dynamics of the criminal empire. With that being said, it's not perfect. Some of the gameplay mechanics can feel a bit repetitive at times, but the atmosphere and story more than make up for it. Mafia 3 isn't just another open world game. It's a powerful, immersive experience that blends action with social commentary, and it deserves way more attention than it's gotten. Next up, number 12 goes to The Outer Worlds. If you're a fan of Fallout-style RPGs, but with a bit of a twist, this is definitely one to check out. The game drops you into a retro, futuristic universe that feels lived in and vibrant, with worlds that look like they belong in an old-school sci-fi movie. The level of detail in each area is staggering, from the neon-lit cities to the desolate, barren wastelands. It's got a rich sense of atmosphere, and each world you visit feels distinct and unique, offering a fresh experience every time. The The narrative in The Outer Worlds is sharp, with plenty of choices to make that affect the story in real, meaningful ways. The dialogues and interactions with NPCs are witty and engaging, with the freedom to approach quests however you see fit. You'll make tough choices that impact your standing in the universe, and it all feels grounded in the game's realistic, albeit quirky, universe. There's a great balance of humor and gravitas that helps set the tone, making it more than just another sci-fi RPG. Though the combat may occasionally feel a bit outdated, the world building and narrative more than compensate for it. The Outer Worlds proves that a strong narrative and a rich, immersive world can elevate an open world game without needing to be massive in scale. At number 11, we've got Watch Dogs 2. Set in the tech-obsessed city of San Francisco, Watch Dogs 2 gives you the chance to hack your way through the world in a way that feels totally fresh and immersive. It's not just about sneaking past guards or cracking codes. It's about interacting with everything in the city, whether it's causing chaos with traffic lights or accessing private data to take down corrupt corporations. What really sets this apart from other open-world games is its use of real-world technology and how it incorporates it into the gameplay. The sense of freedom in how you tackle missions is what makes Watch Dogs 2 stand out. You can go full stealth, hacking your way through every situation, or you can go guns blazing. The world around you reacts to your actions in real time, making every decision feel significant. Obviously, it's not perfect. The driving mechanics could be better, and there are moments where the story drags a little, but honestly, the pure enjoyment of hacking the world around you more than balances out those minor irritations. Watch Dogs 2 is a true hidden gem, offering a level of interactivity and detail that many open-world games overlook.
Like the ones in Mondra's.
At number 10, Horizon Forbidden West offers one of the most visually stunning and immersive worlds you'll ever step into. The game's open world is massive, featuring a beautifully crafted landscape that stretches from lush forests to dry deserts. What makes it so realistic, though, is the attention to detail. Every tree, every animal, every ruin feels like it belongs in this world. The machines you face are also incredibly lifelike, with each one offering its own challenge depending on how you approach it. As Aloy, you'll explore this world in search of answers, and the game does an excellent job of making you feel like you're uncovering a rich, forgotten history. The story unfolds naturally as you traverse the environment, and the characters you meet along the way feel real. The world reacts to your actions, and it's not just about battling robots. It's about understanding the world and its history, which gives the game an extra layer of depth. Sure, there are some slow moments, but the world building and story easily redeem it. Horizon Forbidden West is one of those games where you'll get lost in the world for hours, just soaking in everything around you. The realism here isn't just about visuals, it's about making the player feel like they're truly a part of this expansive world. Landing at number 9, Marvel's Spider-Man might be one of the best superhero games to date, and it's a shame that people sometimes overlook its open-world brilliance. The way New York City is brought to life is incredible. Every corner of the city feels authentic, from the bustling streets to the towering skyscrapers, and it makes web swinging around the city an absolute joy. The physics involved in swinging through the city are spot on, making you feel like you're really Spider-Man. But it's not just about the city, it's about the depth of the experience. The combat, the side missions, the way the world reacts to Spider-Man's actions, it all feels so realistic. You can almost hear the sounds of the city as you zip from building to building. The detail in the environment is incredible, and the game's story is more than just a set of superhero antics. It's a deeply emotional journey that truly captures the essence of Spider-Man's character. Even though there are some repetitive elements, but honestly, the world is so fun to explore that it never really feels like a chore. If you haven't played Marvel's Spider-Man, it's time to give it a shot. The open world is one of the most vibrant, realistic ones I've seen, and it's a game that should get way more recognition than it does. At number 8, we've got Far Cry 6, a game that delivers everything you expect from the series. Big explosions, memorable villains, and an open world that's just begging to be explored. Set in the fictional country of Yar, the world is beautifully crafted, with its tropical landscapes, cityscapes, and countryside all feeling authentic and alive. It's not just about shooting bad guys, it's about becoming part of this world, interacting with the environment, and seeing how everything plays out as you fight for freedom. One of the coolest things about Far Cry 6 is how it lets you engage with the world in multiple ways. You can sneak past enemies, blow them up with a rocket launcher, or even use an alligator as a distraction. The world reacts to your choices, and it feels like a living, breathing environment where your actions have real consequences. However, the story doesn't break new ground, and there are moments where it feels like the gameplay can get a bit repetitive. Still, the sheer fun of the open world and the vast range of activities makes it an enjoyable experience overall. Far Cry 6 may not reinvent the wheel, but it gives you an open world that's fun to lose yourself in. At number 7 on our list is No Man's Sky. Now, this game has had one heck of a journey. When it first launched, it got a lot of heat for not living up to expectations, but over time, it's transformed into one of the most immersive, vast, open-world games out there. This game's whole shtick is exploration, and it delivers on that promise like nothing else. You get to explore billions of planets, each with its own unique environment, flora, fauna, and resources. It feels truly infinite, and the sense of discovery is unlike anything I've experienced in any other game. What makes No Man's Sky so impressive is the attention to detail on every single planet. Whether you're exploring a lush, vibrant jungle or a barren wasteland, the atmosphere is real. The weather systems, the creatures that inhabit each world, and even the procedural generation that keeps things fresh, every part of the game is designed to make you feel like you're exploring an actual living universe. And since the game's had so many updates, it's continually evolving, so there's always something new to discover. Some players might find the grind a bit repetitive, but the ongoing updates have made No Man's Sky a much more engaging experience. The depth of exploration, discovery, and survival in an open world setting is truly something to behold. No Man's Sky might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think of a realistic open world game, but it's definitely earned a spot on this list. At number 6, we've got Days Gone, a game that often gets overshadowed by other big titles, but one that deserves a lot more attention. Set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by freakers, Days Gone offers a beautifully bleak and realistic world to explore. The environment is vast, filled with forests, mountains, and abandoned towns that feel eerily lifelike. The weather cycles and day-night system add to the immersion, making you feel like you're really surviving in this dangerous world. The motorcycle mechanics are a standout here. There's something incredibly satisfying about riding through the wilderness, making sure your bike has enough fuel, and dodging freakers at every turn. The sound design is top-notch too, whether it's the whir of your engine or the distant growl of a freaker horde. Every noise in the environment pulls you deeper into the world, and it's not just about fighting, it's about surviving, scavenging, and thinking on your feet to make it through. Days Gone does have some pacing issues, and the story doesn't always hit the mark, but the open world exploration and the survival elements really shine. There's a great sense of tension and danger in every corner of the world, and that's what makes it feel so realistic. If you're a fan of gritty post-apocalyptic settings, this game will scratch that itch. Claiming the 5th spot, we've got Rise of Ronin. This is one that might not be on everyone's list yet, but it absolutely should be. Set in feudal Japan, this open-world RPG lets you step into the shoes of a Ronin, a masterless samurai, during a turbulent time in Japanese history. The world is breathtakingly detailed, from the sweeping landscapes to the bustling cities and villages. It's about living in a world where every choice has consequences. The combat in Rise of Ronin is as brutal and visceral as it gets, with realistic swordplay and tactics that make each fight feel like life or death. But it's not just about fighting. You'll also spend a lot of time interacting with NPCs, learning about the political turmoil of the era, and making choices that shape the outcome of your journey. The way the game blends action with storytelling is masterful, and it's one of those titles where you feel like you're truly a part of the world, not just a player guiding a character. While the game has its flaws, it's hard to deny the beauty of its open world and the depth of its combat system. If you've been looking for a samurai game with a massive open world and plenty of historical depth, Rise of Ronin delivers on that front. It's one of those titles that sneaks under the radar but absolutely deserves a spotlight. At number 4, The Division 2 takes the crown for one of the most immersive and realistic open world experiences. Set in a post-apocalyptic Washington, D.C., the world here feels so authentic you'll almost forget you're playing a video game. The level of detail in the environment is absolutely stunning. The ruined monuments, the overgrown streets, and even the realistic weather effects make it feel like you're right there, surviving in the aftermath of a societal collapse. The game's world is dynamic and constantly changing, with regular events and updates that keep things fresh. The AI in the game is also top-notch, with enemies reacting intelligently to your actions. Whether you're taking down a gang of rogue agents or trying to outsmart heavily armored enemies, the combat feels tactical and rewarding. And let's not forget the incredible attention to detail in the character models and the gear. It's not just about looking cool, it's about surviving, and every piece of equipment feels like it's been earned. The Division 2 doesn't just give you a world to explore, it gives you a world to live in. Sure, it's a bit of a grind at times, but the payoff is more than worth it. If you're looking for a gritty, realistic world to get lost in, this is one you won't want to miss.
¡Miren! ¡Solo me juzga la huesuda!
Taking the third spot, we've got Cyberpunk 2077. I know it had a rough launch, but let me tell you, it's come a long way since then. Now, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the most immersive and detailed open world games out there. Night City is a dystopian nightmare, sure, but it's a beautiful one. The neon lights, the towering skyscrapers, the rain-soaked streets, all of it comes together to create an atmosphere that feels like it's alive. The world is vibrant and detailed, and you'll find something new every time you step into it. What sets Cyberpunk apart is the way it combines open world exploration with a deep narrative. You're not just running around shooting enemies, you're diving into the lives of the people who inhabit Night City, each of whom has their own story to tell. The choices you make have real consequences, and the world reacts to your decisions in ways that feel meaningful. It's a futuristic world that's both gritty and gorgeous, and every part of it feels meticulously crafted. Yes, there are still some bugs here and there, but the gameplay and the narrative are solid. Cyberpunk 2077 is a game that proves the potential of open-world RPGs, combining rich storytelling with stunning visuals and an immersive environment. If you've written it off, now's the time to give it another shot. You won't be disappointed. Taking the second position, Dying Light 2 is a game that honestly doesn't get nearly enough credit. Set in a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies, it's not just another zombie game. It's got an open world that feels alive, even with all the chaos happening around you. The parkour mechanics are smooth as butter, making you feel like an acrobat as you leap between buildings and climb walls. And when night falls, the game takes on a whole new level of tension. As the infected become more aggressive and dangerous, it's that sense of danger combined with the fluid movement that makes Dying Light 2 stand out. The world of Dying Light 2 is massive, with a range of environments from crumbling urban landscapes to lush, overgrown areas where nature is reclaiming the land. Every part of the world feels lived in, with NPCs going about their business, creating an atmosphere that's both immersive and realistic. The choices you make also affect the world, from alliances to how certain areas develop. It's a game that doesn't just let you explore, it makes you feel like you're shaping the future of this broken world. While the story can be a bit predictable at times, the open world experience more than makes up for it. Dying Light 2 offers an experience that's full of danger, excitement, and exploration, and it's a game that doesn't get nearly enough recognition for its achievements. And finally, at number 1, we've got Assassin's Creed Unity. This game features one of the most detailed, realistic open worlds ever created. Set during the French Revolution, Unity's rendition of Paris is nothing short of breathtaking. The architecture, the streets, the way the NPCs go about their daily lives, it all adds up to create a world that feels like a living, breathing city. The attention to detail here is insane, and it's one of the most immersive historical settings in any game. The parkour mechanics are top-notch, and the combat has a smooth, fluid feel to it that makes exploring the city an absolute joy. But what really sets Unity apart is the sheer scale of its open world. Paris feels alive, from the crowded marketplaces to the quiet streets at night. The game captures the spirit of the French Revolution perfectly, and the way the story unfolds in this setting is engaging and thought-provoking. Assassin's Creed Unity may not have gotten the praise it deserved when it first launched, but it remains an absolute masterpiece when it comes to open-world design. It's not just a game, it's a window into history, immersing you in a world you'll want to get lost in. From the detailed cityscapes to the exhilarating gameplay, Unity is a game that every fan of realistic open-world games should experience.